welcome back to the mixer.
Where we're too old for this stuff, but we're doing it anyway.
Today we are going to
Aruba, Jamaica, right?
talk all things vacation.
Yeah.
When you're 50. We're going to make fun of ourselves a little bit for stuff that we did when we were younger. But today we're going to talk about vacationing, all things vacation. But to start off our vacation, we're going to have
This little fishy bowl something or rather here that's super cute.
Yeah, I think it was called something flamingo, neon flamingo or something. I will put this in there that I was supposed to use strawberry liqueur, and it's very difficult to find. You can buy strawberry cream liqueur, but to buy just strawberry liqueur, so we have raspberry. That's why it's not quite as bright pink. But we haven't topped it off yet. We're gonna put a little cotton candy on ours. This is glitter drink bomb. It's cotton candy with glitter in it. So we're gonna...
And it's strawberry flavored, so we get a little bit of strawberry.
And it's
Let's
a little
see.
sweet.
Holy Toledo, it's a huge glob. Okay, here goes nothing.
Glitter bomb. Oh, zoo.
Oh, and it's gonna add glitter too. Oh, dang.
Oh, get that.
Why is mine's... Okay, there we go.
Okay, so...
It's like sinking like the ship that we don't want to happen.
Right.
Or something like that.
Okay, so this is called, we're going to call it a neon flamingo. Again,
Yeah.
it's because I use raspberry and not strawberry. Let's go over it, shall we? 1 second, we need to...
Let's give her a drink.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so good.
Okay. So to start, these little bowls, cups, bowls, whatever you call them, they came from the Dollar Tree. They're in the craft section. They're not in the glass section. They were in the craft section because I wanted it to look like this little bowl.
You can have fun, be creative.
That's right. So it is a cup of coconut rum. It is a half a cup of, I used raspberry, calls for strawberry liqueur. If you can find strawberry liqueur in your area, do that. If you don't care if it's creamy, you could get, Tequila Rose. That's strawberry cream. If you don't care that it's creamy, I didn't want the creamy. So
It might curdle. Just be prepared for that.
And
Which
separate.
doesn't make it taste any different.
No, it just separates.
Yeah.
Okay, so a cup of coconut rum, a half a cup of the raspberry liqueur, and then a half a cup of pineapple juice. And it called for a half a cup of lemonade, but instead I used real lime juice and a little bit of simple syrup. And mix all that up and over ice, and then we put the cotton candy in it, and it's pretty darn good. Yeah.
You almost can't go wrong. For me, mixing coconut and lime. That's probably my favorite, especially vacation vibes.
Well, we talked about doing a lime martini.
Yeah, we did on another video.
Yeah, we'll do that. So cheers to this. This is going to call it looks like the slaughtered flamingo instead of the neon martini.
Slaughtered.
Oh, yeah. Well, here we go.
It is so good.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today. Going on vacation. And when we were younger, you just looked for the cheapest flight. You looked for the cheapest hotel. You looked for, if you had vacation days. Let's see how...
Come on, right.
Let's see
if
how...
you even had vacation days.
Can we get there and get back in time? Do we want to drive? Do we want to fly? Who's got a car that'll make it?
Right.
And how many people can we fit in it?
Right.
Right.
And can we sneak people past the desk at the hotel?
That's right. We're going to
put 12 people in
because we're going to pay for one
or
hotel room. And everybody bring a sleeping bag because you're sleeping on the
absolutely make a pallet
filthy floor.
Yeah.
So as you get older, you learn that it's not all about that. It's not all about that. You don't need to take 1,000 people with you. So
well, what was the worst vacation mistake you made when you were younger?
I think all of that. I think having high expectations on a low budget was what the problem was. Like you said, at that when you're in your 20s and your 30s, it's more important about how we're going to get there with whatever money we have. So the more people that go, seems like it's cheaper, but then you don't get along with half of the people halfway there, but they still owe you gas money, and who's paying for the rest of the hotel?
Right.
I guess I was pretty fortunate because, again, we worked so much harder when we were younger. It seems like, I wasn't ever broke. It was it was taking time off because since I was a hairdresser, I didn't have built-in vacation. So when you don't go to work, you don't get paid, and there's not somebody paying you when you're gone. So I was fortunate that I had quite a few girlfriends that liked to travel too. So we would get, a room with 2 double beds and fit 2 or 3 of us in a bed, and we went to Clearwater Beach a lot.
Okay.
And that was a freaking hootenanny. On spring break, don't do that. At this age, don't do that.
We're considering a quick, long weekend in Key West over spring break. Mm-hmm. But I said, we have to make sure that it's not during college spring break. And my kids are just past college age. Yeah. That's the last thing I want to do is be in Key West with, God love y'all.
No.
Don't want to party with y'all.
Nope, not at all. Don't want a vacation with you at all.
No.
We don't want a vacation with you at all. So, no offense. We love young folks. We're not packing in a backpack and just winging it anymore.
I was broke for so long, as a kid and then raising the kid, we just didn't have it. So, but I do remember, oh gosh, traveling a 12-hour trip by car with a newborn. Yeah, don't do that. That's dumb.
Well, now everybody, gets to set their kid in front of an iPad or whatever. When I went with my grandparents owned a house at Fort Myers Beach, so that's where we went on vacation when I was a kid because, we went to Fort Myers Beach. I remember counting license plates.
Hello.
All the way to Florida.
We would do the alphabet game, right? So people on the right-hand side of the car got this side of the road, and people on the left-hand side of the car got this side of the road, and you looked at billboards, and whoever got from A to Z first won.
That's fun.
That team won. You'd get to Q, and you had to wait until you came across an antiques billboard.
Oh, sure.
An antique shop billboard.
Yeah.
And Z and X were obviously hard as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would do that. We would do
zoo sign.
Right. Yeah. We would do instead of license plate, we would do cars. So we would all pick a brand of car.
Like a model of car.
And yeah. We'd set a destination, and by the time we get to such and such,
creative.
Who has? Yes.
That's why we're creative now, because we had to.
Yes, absolutely.
And my dad was a trooper. He drove straight through. So
that's why you do.
Yeah, my dad. You better pedal when he stops for gas, and that's how I am. If you ride with me, we decide to travel together, and you ride with me.
We're on the I-10 by 10. And not a minute later.
That's right. When you get on the GPS and it says it's 13 hours to Gulf Shores, that's the time to beat.
That's right. And if Carla's driving, what'd you say? 12 hours. We're going to be there.
11 and a half.
That's right.
Wings. Carla has wings. She
and
qualifies everywhere she goes. She's qualifying everywhere we go.
It is a suggestion. The Google Maps destination or time frame is merely a suggestion.
Okay, so I'm going to go with there's a couple super imperative parts of vacationing at this age. We're going to kind of skip through 20s and 30s because, I think
you can't appreciate, unless you're, you have it like that, God bless you.
Yeah, or
you have rich
that has
parents who, right. Mm-hmm. You can't really appreciate.
Right.
You don't do it right. I'm sure there are some. But being this age and knowing what we appreciate now and what we find is valuable for our money,
right.
A good value, and what we're also willing to spend a little extra for, we're going to talk about that.
Yep. So I think a couple of the most important things at this point, our age, again, skipping through our younger years, is the research that we do about the vacations that we do and who you choose to travel with. Mm-hmm. That is super important. So, do they have the same... do they like to travel the same way that you do? And are they willing to, do you have a budget or are you just going to free willy it or whatever? But I also don't want to vacation with people that want to travel like we did when we were kids. You have to be able to give a little to go on some of the vacations we are. Some of the things that we've seen is absolutely beautiful. I want to stay in a nice house. I don't want to stay in a vintage rustic hotel anymore. I either want to stay in a nice house or I want to go to a resort. And what's more important to me is all-inclusive, adults only. That is more important to me at this point in life. No offense, I don't want a vacation with your kids. I don't want a vacation with any kids. And sometimes those are a little more, and I'm willing to do that. So, but if your travel partners, your travel friends aren't willing to do that, you need to make sure that you're all on the same plane before you invite them along, because that gets real uncomfortable when people start complaining about, well, I didn't know this, or, I didn't know that was going to cost, or why do we have to pay to transfer from the hotel to the...
Yeah, make sure, do your research. Didn't do that
No.
when I was young.
No.
And now I won't buy whatever a set of plastic dishes without looking at the reviews.
Yeah.
Like reviews are my friend.
How many stars?
That's right.
How many stars?
So that's really, really important. And then just making sure, like you said, that everybody
Is on
understands exactly what it looks like. And some people, I've vacationed before, gone on trips before, where it was very much, there was an itinerary before we even left. And it was important that, we stuck to that itinerary. There's a part of me that likes that. There's a part of me that doesn't. The part of me that likes it is the 50-year-old Carla who wants to know exactly what to expect, so that I can plan accordingly, how much money we're going to bring, what shoes, if it's a day of whatever, right?
Sure.
But not everybody's like that. Some people like to vacation by flying by the seat of their pants. Like there's no plans. There's no nothing. We're waking up in the morning and whichever way the breeze takes us.
That's me.
I like that too,
Yeah.
right? Because every day at home and working is very regimented,
Sure.
And that's how I live. Like every morning getting around, it's very routine,
Same.
right? So I want to break from that, but I also just want to be prepared.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. So, some of the things are, are your friends willing to pay for upgrades? Are they willing to pay for, a little extra? Let's do this. So, yeah. If we can get a nonstop flight, yep, yes, ma'am.
And we're getting to the point, mostly my husband, because he's a giant, that we're going to start paying for the better.
Yeah, business class.
Yeah. Because, depending on where you're flying to, like it can get really, really uncomfortable for him. So.
Well, and we've talked about this too. We talked about going to Hawaii. We talked about going some of these further distances, and I'm to the point now that I would rather maybe even stop, get out. There's something to be said about stopping, get out, stretch your legs, get off of the airplane. I know that sounds super spoiled, but Rick is a giant. I have some joints that aren't so great, and let's be honest, they're shoving more people in these airplanes all the time.
They're not making them any bigger. Figure that one out, Delta.
Yeah.
And all of y'all.
Yeah. I
don't get it.
You are, and
people are bigger nowadays. They just are.
Yeah. Again, and you and I aren't super tall. I can't imagine being him. Even at our height, at 5'8", when you sit down on an airplane, my knees are almost touching the people in front of me.
I can't cross my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I always get set by a close talker. The people that want to talk to you and they want to whisper, so they're all airy and whatever they got at the Saboros or whatever that place is called, the goat meat place where they always eat goat meat, and that Tzatziki
that I have in the refrigerator right now that we're eating tonight.
Yeah, they all want to talk to you after.
Are you saying that makes your breath smell bad?
Oh my God! Or coffee. I've had 17 gallons of coffee. Now I'm gonna sit next to you
where you're going.
and I'm like, let me get you a mint. Let me get you a mint. In fact, why don't you ask to switch seats?
Listen, I don't even know. Just walking through business class, I haven't even paid attention because I feel like I would cry to see if that is prohibitive.
Oh,
is that the right word?
2 seats instead of 3. Business class is only 2 sets and two
so there's
seats.
more space in between.
More space in between.
To go. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my face at the window and shut the door so I don't have to talk to you. I'm gonna get outside here. Let me crack this window. So, and what kind of vacations do you want to go on? So, I can tell you that we've been very fortunate that we cruised a lot, quite a bit. We cruised quite a bit, and again, Carla and Rick have spent the first part of their marriage raising children, and when we met, their children were getting closer to graduate. So we, a couple years ago, took them. We went to
our first vacation together was Gulf Shores.
Yeah. So
listen, if you guys are going to go to Gulf Shores, again, one woman's opinion, but
pay for a house.
Prove me wrong. Just try to prove me wrong.
If you'd like me to book it, go ahead and hit me up.
We will gladly. We had an amazing house on the beach. You wake up, you walk out onto the deck, and there's white sand and aqua water. Come on.
This house was ginormous.
Yeah. And there were 8 of us.
Yep.
8 of us went, so we split it, which makes it extremely affordable.
Yeah.
So you can be a little more bougie.
This house was so big. It was 3 stories. This house was so big that there were 4 couples and there were empty bedrooms. There were bedrooms.
There was at least
moved.
1 or 2 empty bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could have taken more people, but
no, we can't. I don't like more than those people. We're not taking anybody else on vacation.
You have to make the cut.
Yep. Yes. And if you're not making, trust me, I'll cut you.
Oh my word.
Don't. Yeah. So that house was amazing. And then we went to.
And that's all it took for Rick and I, right? Like she said, we raised babies, you know, for the first, seemed like forever, part of our marriage. So then when we got a taste of, like, that's all it took. It just took this one vacation on the beach, on the Gulf, and we were hooked. And
you know, that's the best place for you to ground is in salt water. So if any of you ever followed me on Facebook, I talk about grounding, and we should all go out every day and put your feet in the grass. You need to put your feet on the earth, barefooted. That's the best for your soul. It's the best for your system. It's just the best for you is grounding. The best place you can ground is in salt water on the sand. And when you go to the salt water and stand on the sand in the salt water, you understand it's a euphoric feeling. Just standing there makes you feel completely different. And when we got home from that vacation, Carla goes, we're doing it. I don't care what we have to do, what we have to cut out. We're going on vacation because she said
it changed us.
Yeah, she said it changed us. She said everything, all facets of our life were better. Our marriage was better. Our relationship was better. And she said it's crazy to me that one vacation with our good friends changed everything about our daily lives when we got home. And that sounds maybe corny to some, but when you spend time, that quality time, that downtime, that regenerating.
And just being in that beauty too, right? Just experiencing that beauty. And it's the downtime and no schedule.
Yep. And Florida is beautiful. I grew up going to Florida again. My grandparents had a home there, and but there's something about Gulf Shores. I love Gulf Shores. If you can get down there, there's a restaurant called the Tin Top. It has absolutely phenomenal food. And it's in the bayou. You drive out there and the moss is hanging from the trees.
It's wonderful.
Super cool.
Just ask the market price
on crab claws
of stuff before you order it.
How much are crab claws, Carla?
An appetizer of crab claws are $65.
And they're this big. Yeah.
But the sauce, we all agreed we would bathe in it.
And the grits and
I think that's what I had, shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits, me too. And they put jalapenos in them, which I'm surprised you liked those, but you did.
I probably asked for it without. Yeah.
But the Tin Top is great, and there's ice cream everywhere you look. And go
Big Pony.
Yep, go to the Floribama Bar and Grill.
And play bingo with the resident bingo caller.
And cheat
who
Jordan.
lets you cheat. And I don't know, that is an experience.
All on itself.
That should be a reality. That should be a reality television show. Yeah. I think it would do well. Yeah. Like, it is a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at Floribama.
And it just keeps going. This bar goes on and on and on and on. It must take up a football field. That bar is so big. And they have music here and bingo here and food here and music here. And
I can't imagine what it's like during college spring break. I bet it's stupid.
No, because there's bras hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
In that one part of the bar.
No, we want to go. We want to go after that. We want to play bingo with. I wish we could remember his name.
That's right.
And win koozies.
Yeah, from 1995.
But it's a prize.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not hoteling it anymore. We are. So
the VRBO.
That's right. So we went to Gulf Shores and then we went to Cape Coral. Oh, so beautiful. That house was beautiful.
Yeah.
We upgraded a little bit though. We had a lanai with a pool right on the channel. Cape Coral is beautiful. There's so many beautiful places right here that you can go without traveling outside of the country. There's a lot of beautiful places
in America. Yeah. I would suggest, however, the one thing that I was disappointed about in Cape Coral was we went a year
after the hurricane.
It wasn't even a year, right? It happened like in October, and we went that following April. And we should have done some more research. I mean, we were on Facebook pages,
right?
And we couldn't really. It didn't seem like no one was talking about how. That's another thing. Get on Facebook pages for the destination where you're going, because people will be real, right? It's not some sugar-coated review off of the website. Like, people are going to be real on Facebook pages. And for whatever reason, we didn't get like a strong sense that it was still really bad, and it kind of was. I mean, what was the island?
Sanibel.
Yeah, Sanibel. That would have been gorgeous to see.
But
and
was
it's
like
probably
a
better
dirt
now.
road. It was like a dirt road in and out at that point.
And trees down everywhere. So what hurricane was that? That's been about 3 years ago.
I don't know.
Man's name.
Right. But part of what we decided, part of the reason we decided to go ahead and go and not cancel our plans was because A, we were supporting this young family that owned the house that we were renting, and B, we decided that, you know, we wanted to support that community and put money back into them, and they were rebuilding and they were trying to do all this stuff, and so we said, we have this phenomenal house, we have a pool on a channel, and it had a little like tiki hut down by the water with a TV, and we'd go down there at night and fish and
Get eaten by
no
no
Sam's.
Sam's. Gosh, be prepared for that in Florida
So we decided-
during a certain time of year.
Well, I think no CMs are bad all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and our little
They
perverted.
must have it figured out, the people who live there, because I can't imagine. We
Yeah.
itched for weeks.
Yeah.
But get the right kind of spray, and it was wonderful. And even though the hurricane had gone through and not everything was, you know, back up to par or whatever, there was still
a lot of places
stuff
open
to do.
Sure.
You know, we kind of explored, and that was so fun. Us girls went and just explored fruit markets and got local fruit. Do that too. We're going to St. Thomas in October, and that's something I cannot wait for. Is that fresh
produce.
Everything? They're fresh fish and seafood and fruit will be wonderful.
Yep.
So join a Facebook page, check things out, because we still had a great time. I just don't know if we'd have known that so much was, you know, still hurting.
Devastated. Yeah.
But it really was great. It really, really was great to go down there and support them and pour money into their community.
Yep.
Because they needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to Coral, when we went to, good Lord, when we went to Gulf Shores, it's imperative for us. We always drive down on a Saturday, and we went in a van. You almost said it. It was, you know, like a free candy puppy hugs. That's the kind of van we went down in there.
With bench seats, a bunch of middle-aged people.
It was fine. They complain a lot. It was fine.
It was not fine. Don't do that.
But we
spend
also
the extra money for comfortable seating if you're going to drive 14 hours.
But
in Alabama is the longest state to drive north. I mean, half of our trip was just Alabama.
You can get we live in northern Indiana. So Carla lives in Fort Wayne. I live north of Fort Wayne. You can get from Fort Wayne to the Alabama line in the same amount of time that you get from the Alabama line to Gulf Shores.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration. That's not a lie. That half of the trip is from here to Alabama. The other half of the trip is from Alabama to Gulf Shores.
It's not a fun drive. Alabama is, of course, there's wonderful places to stop, you know. Buc-ee's. But there's also some historical stuff if you're into that. In Mobile.
Yeah, it's a couple hours. Like from here to Indy, an hour and a half. From Indy to Louisville, a couple hours. From Louisville to Nashville, a couple hours. From Nashville to Alabama, a couple hours. And then from Alabama to Gulf Shores is 572 hours and 12 minutes.
Yes.
And there's one
What
bridge
is happening? What did y'all do?
Yeah, Alabama needs another interstate. I love that state. I love to go down there. We all love Gulf Shores now. It's in us. It gets in you.
Yeah.
And we all love it down there. But you got to find another way. We got to get down there.
That has some stuff to look at.
Like we need to drive to the Alabama line, then get on an airplane and fly to Gulf Shores.
Right.
Because I don't know. We'll take one of the float planes and they can land us right in front of our house or something. I don't know. That's crazy to me, but Gulf Shores is beautiful. And then after Gulf Shores, we went on our first cruise. And if you haven't cruised, I hear people all the time go, "Oh, I'm seasick." Well, you're not. There's a difference between being on a John boat on Lake Erie and a 215-ton cruise ship on the middle of the Caribbean Sea.
Wait, what's a John boat?
A little metal John boat. It's got a little trolling motor in the back.
Like a rowboat?
Well, but it has a motor on it.
Yeah.
A John boat's a little aluminum boat that you would go fishing on.
Okay, got it.
Tri-lakes.
Got it.
So there's a huge difference between a lake and a cruise, and we talked Rick and Carla into going on a cruise. In fact, we went on 3 vacations in 12 months, and she said, we're going to have to take a break. We're going to have to take a break. I'm like, dude, we're going on vacation. So we went on a cruise. We had a wonderful time, and there's hook, line, and sinker on that too. Cruises are, I told them before we left, I go, you're going to see islands that you didn't even know existed. And that's my favorite part about cruising. You can, like we are going to Turks and Caicos. Mm-hmm. We are going to Turks and Caicos. But before I spend the money to fly there and stay there, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
So that's
perfect way.
That's our next cruise.
Mm-hmm.
2027. We're cruising to Curacao and Turks and Caicos.
No. Well, we haven't solidified, but the latest thing I have found is San Juan, St. Martin's, and Turks and Caicos.
Okay, so that's what we're doing.
Out of probably Fort Lauderdale or Orlando.
Yeah.
Cocoa Beach, whatever.
Go on a cruise. Get your friends. The more on a cruise, the more people you take, the more fun it is. Mm-hmm. On vacation, you have to be more selective about who you take because you're in closer quarters. But on a cruise ship, there's so much stuff to do. You can go your separate ways all day and then meet up for dinner and have a cocktail. Do all the things. Early dinner. We do early dinner. We're 50. We do early dinner, and you get the best sleep of your life on a cruise ship too. It rocks you to sleep.
Oh, it does. My husband doesn't love that. I love that.
Cruise ships are amazing.
They are.
I will tell you that we are a little cruise ship snobby. Mm-hmm. So we were Royal Caribbean, Norwegian. We both have had some.
Our last cruise, we didn't go together, but we took our kids. And our first cruise, my first cruise, Rick, first marriage, honeymoon, whatever.
Well, it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count. But our first cruise with these guys was the Norwegian Escape. And when you have nothing to compare it to, but it was good. Yeah, it was, wonderful ship, lots to do. And their customer service was stellar on that ship. Yep. And plus, the ports, you guys didn't go to all of them with us, but we did. And we just soaked up as much as we possibly could. And we had a phenomenal time and we were hooked. Yep. So then Rick's like, as often as we can. So then the next one we booked with our kids and some friends. And with Norwegian on a brand new ship. And I mean that ship, the Aqua, last year. Mm-hmm. And it was gorgeous. I mean, a beautiful ship and a little bougie because it's brand new, right? Norwegian, we love you, but, and we complained because I'm not going to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars and not have excellent customer service. I'm a bit of a customer service Nazi and I'm proud of it. Spent a lot of years working in that field. Sure. And it doesn't take much to give great customer service, especially when people are paying thousands of dollars. So, we were not impressed. Oh, and it was so, I even teared up one night. I was so frustrated and apologized to our other friends because they were, I believe, Carnival, right, Tanya? Carnival cruisers, I want to say. And they didn't even, and I thought, and no offense to Carnival, but I thought going from Carnival to Norwegian, it would be such a nice upgrade, and they weren't impressed with the customer service. So then I felt like, but to put things in perspective, our boys, and of course they're 20-somethings, right? So they were up until 5 a.m., at the karaoke bar and then going to the 24-hour diner, but they had the time of their lives. Like they can't wait to go on the next cruise. So there's some perspective there in terms of age and what you're willing to, what you expect. And I don't know where we were going with that, but, so now, you know what to expect we know what to expect with Norwegian, but that was such a disappointment. And they tried to make up for it. They gave us spa days, which was phenomenal. The spa on the Aqua, it was wonderful. And we went for free of charge. They were trying to make it up to us, which I appreciate. But still in the same, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth for your next cruise. So we're looking at Celebrity now.
Yeah, we are. So we had been on Norwegian multiple times and we liked the Escape. We liked going with them. But I can even tell you that from our experience years past with Norwegian until we went with them, not the same. In prior years, we didn't have to look or ask for anything. They were always one step ahead. Their customer service was always one step ahead. And like when you would go out and sit by the pool, the waiters would come around, and once they knew what you liked, they would just bring it to you. Well, that's not a thing anymore. They're not doing that anymore, and it's unfortunate. When you would go to the dinner, and I told them, I said, I'm disappointed in, like we were at the buffet one night and somebody walked in there in their pajamas. Well, come on. I'm all for being comfortable, and I'm all for, you know, having your own time on your own vacation, but why are you in full-fledged pajamas at the buffet for dinner?
So you really like that cat better not jump up on this table. Real life. You like the dinner where you have to dress up?
I like the dinner where you look nice and it's an evening. You know,
yeah, it's fun.
To me, that's like, you know, you get cleaned up and you look nice and you go to dinner and then you go to the show or you go to the casino or you go what. You can wear pajamas at home. You can wear pajamas at home, go to Walmart in them, but not on a cruise ship. And it used to be that when you would go to the captain's, when you would go to the main dining, the night, you know, everybody, I can remember being on cruise ships where women wore like gowns. I mean, it used to be a big deal. And I think that they decided that was too selective and they didn't want to exclude people anymore that didn't have gowns. So now you can wear your Ren and Stimpy pajamas to the buffet.
Not Ren and Stimpy.
And you can get your whatever in the buffet in your pajamas and then skedaddle on back to your room and tuck in. But I don't want that. I want a little bit more. I want, you know, I want to dress up on vacation. I want to, you know.
Yeah, it's the time to, for me.
Yeah.
I love that part of vacation where, you know, nobody knows you. So if there's any kind of preconceived, you know, idea that, oh, I can't wear that to work or I can't wear that to church. Anything goes at vacation.
That's right. And it doesn't matter how big you are or how little you are.
That's right.
A thong is always present. Male or female.
Oh gosh, sitting at the pool for
Pieces
a few
and
hours
parts
is a
everywhere.
lot of fun. You know what I'm saying?
Pieces and parts everywhere.
Pieces and parts, yes.
And shaved or not shaved or.
But again, you know, we've had a difference of opinion on other things, kind of in the same vein, and that is, listen, you paid for this vacation for yourself. As long as you're not being like, I wouldn't be offensive to anybody, although. Maybe if I was in a thong, that would be offensive. It'd be offensive to me. But, you know, I'm all for it. This is your vacation that you paid for. As long as you're not hurting anybody and not being offensive. Who cares?
Right.
Have fun. Have fun.
What is happening?
I feel like we say this every
time.
episode.
Peanut
There's
gallery.
always something happening behind the camera, y'all, and you do not want to see
Peanut
it.
gallery. We need to get our own private space.
We do. We need a sheep.
We need to take.
She cave.
Yeah,
Shit.
we're gonna take the shed at my house, and we're gonna make us.
Stop it.
Yes, we're doing it. We're gonna have
Ooh,
our
we
own
can
little.
bouge that out.
Yeah, but on the other side is gonna be my brand new calico Brahmas that are coming on March.
Listen,
9th.
they can be on the video. We're getting off on a tangent, but
I'm a chicken tender. I have some critters at my house, and I like some bougie things. And one of the things that I truly enjoy are my yard birds, and I buy yard birds specifically based on what color eggs they lay. And so I have just about mastered the rainbow. I think I have almost every color of egg that there are.
they're so beautiful.
From copper marins, which lay copper-colored eggs that are almost black, all the way down to my Polish hens who lay white eggs. So
Little baby white eggs.
I have some
Little
beautiful.
tiny.
I have some beautiful hens, and they do beautiful work for
Yes,
me. And
they do.
their eggs are absolutely stunning. So now
And
I'm
delicious. Delicious.
Yep. So now I'm getting into some different varieties of breeds that I enjoy. I love huge birds, and so I have Brahmas. Brahmas are giant birds, and I found a breeder in Florida that raises calico Brahmas, and so I'm getting some eggs. So I'll keep you posted about that. I'll let you know how that's going. So I'm going to raise some calico Brahmas, and they're going to be separate. But we have a shed in our yard that is currently being not used. There's a fireplace in there and everything. We can bougie that
Let's
place up.
do that.
Yeah. So
How
we
fun.
might have a new podcast spot that
A new
is
backdrop, if you
absent
will.
from the riffraff in
Yeah.
here.
The nonsense that happens behind the camera that y'all don't want to see.
Because
Okay.
they're in there sipping bourbon right now.
Yeah.
So
What else, Pen?
okay, so here's another thing that you need to kind of be selective about is and not even selective. It's just, what do you want to not have go on a vacation? And I'm not a big partier. I keep telling them that we need to go. So I'm fortunate that we have another set of friends that have invited us on vacation a few times, and we're actually going to go on vacation with them pretty soon.
Very soon.
And they are super educated travelers. And the last couple of resorts that we go to, they have a foam party. You're in the pool in the middle of the afternoon. And see, that's the thing about these adults only all-inclusive resorts. They wait till about 2:30 in the afternoon when everybody's been at the bar since 10:30.
Pie-eyed.
And then they have activities. They had a mechanical bull at one we were at last year, and they all have foam parties. And I don't know what's in the foam, but it is
Crack.
it is absolutely hysterical. And so
Laughing gas.
Yes, they have taken us to some beautiful resorts, and I keep telling these guys, you would love the foam parties. You would love all of this stuff. And as much as we've shared some of the other things that we enjoy in life, like my esthetician that Carla's now hooked on to, we have a phenomenal travel agent, and her name is Vicky Tripp. And I will get that information, and maybe Carla can.
We'll put it in the comments. Her website.
Yeah, we'll put that in there. Vicky Tripp is absolutely amazing. We can email her or text her or call Vicky and say, listen, we want to go somewhere warm in February, and here's our budget, and she'll send us a list of where we can go and what that looks like. And she takes care of all of our travel plans. She takes care of our airfare. She takes care of everything, and then she sends us a total. And like she'll send us 4 or 5 different resorts, and then this is how much this one is, this is how much this is this, and this and this, and then you just pick the one you want. She takes care of it. You send her your passport number and your $1,000 deposit, and zip zap, off you go. Now you're going on vacation.
Yeah.
So Vicky Tripp's amazing. She doesn't do cruises, and she doesn't do she only does overseas. She doesn't do here. Like she'll do the Caribbean, she'll do Mexico, she'll do but she doesn't do in the United States. She doesn't do those. And she doesn't do cruises. And I can tell you, speaking of back to the cruise part, get online and look and see what kind of cruise you want to go to and who you want to travel with and where they're going. And you can book that online, but sometimes it's more beneficial to actually call them and talk to them, because Carla's husband, Rick Jordan, is best friends now with some dude that works at Norwegian.
Abel Rodriguez.
And Rick calls him, and Abel calls him by name. And
How you doing, Rick?
out.
Not a hello or anything. What's up, Rick?
So now we're going to make him be best friends with somebody at Celebrity.
That's right.
We're going to do that next.
Yeah.
But, if you're not, and I highly recommend using a travel agent when you go out of the country, because you get over there and something awry happens, your clout with them means nothing. But a travel agent that's booked these vacations for years upon years, she absolutely, a couple years ago we were going and we flew into Cancun, and we were supposed to have a private transfer. And when we got there, they thought they were going to put some other folks in our private transfer, and one phone call to Vicky, and they absolutely didn't put anybody in our private transfer. So
Okay.
you pay extra for that. You just want it to be you, and they want to take as many people as they can.
Well, sure they do.
Yeah,
Sure they do. They'll get many more tips. But
if you're going out of the country, I highly recommend you use and people book vacations out of the country all the time. But if you run into issues, listen. If our flight gets delayed or if something happens, Vicky is rescheduling it, and we always get travel insurance and we get medical insurance when we go out of the country. You don't want to be stuck in a Mexican hospital. You'll never get out, and they make you pay for it up front. So if you're going to travel out of the country, make sure we use United travel insurance. I think I just paid $57. Auburn and I each have $1 million policy to go to Mexico. So you want to make sure there's certain things that you want to take care of, and you have to pay a Mexican tax, a travel tax, and there's just certain things you need to take care of. Get your passport. Make sure that you have what do I tell you all the time you need to get? Global entry. You want the global entry.
Yeah. For TSA.
When you come back into the country, so we'll drive to Chicago. We'll fly from Chicago to Tulum. And then when we fly from Tulum back, when we get back to Chicago, we will skip customs because we have our global travel. And it's
chicken dinner.
We're attached right to your passport. When we go down to go to customs, they scan your passport, they scan your face, and they send you on your way. So there's a lot of things that you need to look into. If you're going to travel overseas, you need to make sure that you're prepared. And I'll also tell you, Learn how to pack in a carry-on. It used to annoy me when I was on a plane with people that had carry-ons, but when you go out of the country, you are on their time, and we do usually have a private transfer, and we have to give them what time our flight arrives, and that's when they expect us within a reasonable amount of time. And if you're not ready to go when they're ready to go, you're not on a private transfer anymore. So we've, the last time, I think the folks that we go with, I think the last time that they took big suitcases, it's because they didn't unload the plane. And they waited like 45 minutes to get their luggage, and their transfer was expiring because they're waiting. And then you have to walk through their security, and if they think you have something in your suitcase, they pull you off to the side and search you. And I mean, there's a whole list of things. If you have carry-on on the airplane, you don't even have to go through all that. So
there's definitely pros. I have yet to master that.
You don't need.
I don't know what it is
pairs
about. Tell us in the comments. Like, are you guys light travelers? Just carry on, or do you take the biggest suitcase that you possibly can with half of your closet because for whatever reason you think that you might have to wear it? I don't know. It's psychological. I'm not alone here.
You don't need 27 pairs of underwear. You're not going to poop your pants every day.
No, not 27 pairs of underwear, but maybe 27 outfits for 1 week.
No, ma'am.
Right?
One pair of black
I'm not
pants.
alone in this. I'm not alone.
You need a pair of black pants or a pair of khaki pants, or both. Black pants, khaki pants, and a couple shirts that go with these.
Says the woman with camouflage pants and polka dot pants, and come on.
Not on vacation.
I want to look funky and fun on vacation.
You can look funky
because,
and
like
fun.
I said earlier, you know,
Here's
there's
what
whatever preconceived notion that you can't really.
When you go to an all-inclusive, this is going to be soon. When you go to an all-inclusive, you know what you're wearing 95% of the time.
I get it. So you need several bathing suits.
Yes, you need several bathing suits.
Several pairs of shoes. Because not all shoes match all the bathing suits, right? And then there's cover-ups. Cover-ups have to match.
She's going to have to figure this out.
I'm not alone. Tell us in the comments that I'm not alone.
She took a suitcase, a huge suitcase, and was overweight. Then she had to pay for her suitcase.
It was worth it. It was worth it. I'm sorry.
How much of that did you wear? And then you know what? We get on the cruise ship. 5 minutes, she lost her wallet.
I thought I did. I did not.
But you know why? Because she had 47 outfits.
I think I wore most of those outfits.
I don't think you did.
I didn't repeat anything. And see, that's the thing. So, especially on a cruise ship, let's say this really, really fast, not that it matters, but they have laundry service, but depending on the package that you get, sometimes it's extra. So, I don't know. Maybe it would have been worth paying for that.
Ask me how I do on my laundry.
I know, in the bathroom sink.
Yeah.
And I can do that
sheets.
too.
I take Earth Breeze, I think it's the name. They make laundry sheets and softener sheets. And they're packed in my suitcase.
Have you seen those TikTok videos with these genius, like, vacation packers? And I mean, they have a section in their bag for everything. And this chick that I saw takes things to clean the bathroom because she doesn't germaphobe. And I'm like, how do you fit all of that? I have trouble fitting just my clothes.
47 outfits.
I think they do, but they vacuum seal. Maybe I should do that.
Maybe if you made your own underwear, they wouldn't.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. How do you make it? We're not even going to go down that road again. You guys have seen the video.
Fig leaf and fig sack. Feed sack and fig leaves.
Oh my.
That's insane to me.
Anyway, we won't go down that road. Okay.
Oh, I know where we were going about the foam party. Here's some things. I like to have fun at the pool, and I like to have a cocktail. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get laying blasted at an all-inclusive resort. Most of their alcohol is not as strong as it is in other places, you know, but that's okay because you get to drink all day long. But there are some things that at an all-adult, all-inclusive resort that I don't want loud nonsense. I don't want loud nonsense at night. I don't want disrespectful people. I don't like to see people that leave their garbage lay around.
No,
I don't like
that's
to see
so
people
rude.
that.
I'm okay with other people having a great time though. Like if you want to party until, like on the ship,
9
if you want to
o'clock when
party,
I go to bed,
right? Or you want to party till 5 o'clock in the morning, you do you, boo. I just don't want to hear it. So, however you need to figure that out, so it doesn't disrupt us oldies.
Yeah.
That are in bed by 10.
Yeah. You know, part of the reason we never cruised on Carnival is because I had friends that had cruised on Carnival, and at one point, Carnival used to have, in the evening, they would wheel out bins of pillows and blankets out by the pool, because Carnival counted on the fact that a lot of the people that were cruising were younger folks. And if these two young folks hook up with two other young folks, or one, somebody in one of those rooms is getting kicked out for the night. And so they would put pillows and blankets out by the pool so they could sleep out there. And I went, nope, no.
Really?
Here's what I want. Here's what I look for in a cruise. On the reviews, I like the reviews that say, there was nothing for our children to do. So they give them bad reviews. And I'm like, that's the one.
Me. Yeah.
That's absolutely the one.
So Celebrity is known to be a little bit of a more mature crowd.
That's for
now, my
us.
husband is all about, even though he'll be the first one asleep, he says,
Yeah.
He says he wants to party, which is
Do it again, Rick
absolutely
Jordan.
false.
Do it again, Rick Jordan.
He knows I'm telling the truth. He's the first one to be asleep. He says he wants to party. He just wants it to be busy. Well, you can be busy and still not pull pillows and blankets out by the pool. Like, what are you condoning? Never mind.
Yeah, you are. You know
Never mind.
exactly what they are.
Carnival.
So that's why we never, and I don't know if that's true, and I hate to speak ill of them because I've never cruised with them, but I know that their cruises are a little less expensive, and I think it's because they want to be child friendly. I don't want to go on vacation with your kids. So
Yeah. And kudos that there is a cruise line that
And Disney.
is more attainable for, all,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
All classes of folks in terms of their finances.
Right
So,
on.
yay. Everybody, I don't know what the word is, deserves, but like, if you can do it, do it. I just will stay where I want to stay.
Okay, so let's see here. Traveling with aging parents. We wrote that down. I'm good with that. I mean, my mom.
Me too.
My mom cruised with us before I married Aubrey. Mom and I went on quite a few cruises, and she went with us after. My dad doesn't enjoy it. She does, but he kind of doesn't want her to be gone that long without him, so she hasn't gone for a while. But yeah, I was glad that we got to vacation with her when we did. I mean,
My folks aren't really my mom and my dad, they're separated, whatever. But neither of them are the like tropical location type vacationers. So, but I enjoy that because I enjoy a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to backpack. I'll hike a little bit.
No.
As long as it's not horribly strenuous.
No, I'm not.
Because I want to see things. Like I want to experience as much as I can.
you can
so
see
along
it when we
that
fly
same
over
vein,
it on the way in.
along
I'm
that
not
same
backpacking.
vein, going places with my parents means that you're going to experience some stuff. You're going to
They better
see
have
some
a-
history and some.
Motorbike or a rickshaw, because I'm not climbing up anywhere.
Listen, like there's places worth exploring.
There's
No?
bugs and snakes and spiders up there, and
But what about seeing something that just takes your breath away?
no.
I'm all for that.
Okay.
I'm all for that. I want to get there comfortably, and I don't want to really break a sweat doing it. But
we went
I want to experience as much of God's beautiful creation as I possibly can. So we
Me
went
too.
with my mother on a trip to Washington D.C. and that was my first time. That was when we first moved here, and that was a blast. I went with.
What part of God's creation did you see in Washington D.C.?
Here's what I think: every American should visit Washington
Been
D.C.
there. Been there on a tour bus with a guy named Big Mac. Loved him.
Okay, Big Mac. Shout out to Big Mac.
He was our bus driver. Don't make fun. I love that dude.
Okay. I believe that.
He forgot more about Washington D.C. probably than most people know.
Wow. Yeah. So I just seeing those things that have been around for so many decades and the foundation of our country is just really, really, really impressive. Mm-hmm. And then we went with my dad on a trip to the Bourbon Trail. Shocker. With my husband and my brother who's also into bourbon. My father is too. So, but that was cool too. To just, you can't hardly beat being from the Midwest and getting down into Kentucky, that beautiful country. Like that was wonderful.
Sure.
So there's not tropics, certainly aren't tropics in tropical weather in Washington DC, but I enjoy those kind of vacations too. I like a balance.
Yeah.
Although the water calls me.
We went to Puerto Rico in October. We just went to Puerto Rico. We went to an island. It's part of Puerto Rico, but it's an island. It's called VACAYs. And VACAYs, number one, is one of the largest collective. Well, they've got more than one spot. The bioluminescent bay. That's so cool to see. So we went to VACAYs, and they also have some absolutely stunning beaches there. We got to see that, and they also have the black sand beach. Don't do that. So
Why?
So the black sand beach, we were on part of VACAYs, and they said, "Oh, go to the black sand beach." So we drive out there. You have to walk about 67 miles back through a jungle, and we're coming out
To
of the
see some black sand.
to see some black sand.
All
And
right.
it wasn't even like you could, if you walked in it, it was black on top, and then it was not black on. It's not.
Oh.
It's, I don't know. I don't even know how it turned. Whatever.
And you didn't ask? See, that's the kind of stuff I
Well,
need to
there's
know.
nobody there to ask.
Right.
And there's wild horses all over VACAYs, which is really cool.
Very cool.
But
Did you pet them?
Karen pet them and got one of them turned around and knocked her off her feet, and her flip flops flew everywhere. It was hysterical, but she was fine. But as somebody that owned horses and did all the things, I appreciate that. Here's what some people don't think about: there has to be some sort of maintenance of these animals, because we were driving back to town one day, and when we were driving, we saw a younger horse laying down, and it was in the morning, and she was laying in the sun, which wasn't a huge issue, but by the time we came back, she was still laying in the same spot, and I said, it's too hot. By now she should have been up and found some shade. And so when we went in town, I found a place that made loaded teas.
Wow.
And so I stopped there, and I was talking to her, and I go, "Do you guys have any kind of a conservation situation? I mean, who takes care of these horses?" She said it's actually the police department, and then they have a vet that they call out. The vet will assess her situation and either write it or send her on her way. And this young lady's husband was in there, and he was actually a policeman. So he didn't speak English, but while I was talking to her, she was telling him that there was a young horse just down the road that was having some issues. And so he was already on it. They were going to get somebody out there to take a look at her. And if it was, I don't know if she'd been hit or just sick. I mean, they have no maintenance. They have no veterinary care unless something like that happens. So if it was something that she wasn't going to survive, they would dispatch her and take care of her. But I appreciate that, right, wrong, or indifferent, and it breaks your heart, that happens. But that's the way of life, and you can't have a whole island full of horses and think that at some point they're not gonna. And wild chicken, not wild chickens, but there's chickens everywhere too. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of a step back. It's not Puerto Rico. It's kind of a step back. It's kind of a different way of life, and that's kind of what was cool about this island. I would probably go again. My husband wasn't so much. Most of the restaurants, almost all the restaurants, were locally owned.
Love it.
And yeah, there's no McDonald's there. There's no
Love
Walmart
it.
there.
Love
Nothing.
it. When I go on vacation, I'm glad you said that, because my family and I tend to differ about this. If there's some place that I can, if it's a restaurant that's back home in Fort Wayne that we can eat at, I don't want to eat there on vacation.
Right.
I'm on vacation. I want to experience different things.
Yeah.
And even if it's there's been times we've had things and they weren't good, but I'd rather experience it at least and
We
see.
had phenomenal food on VACAYs.
I'm sure.
VACAYs is, and again, there's nothing commercial there. I mean, they had a grocery store there. They had a warehouse kind of situation where you could buy, kind of like Sam's Club, but it wasn't a Sam's Club. It was just a warehouse kind of situation. Oddly, the same family owned that owned the gas, or that owned the grocery stores. Almost every, I'm going to step out and say everything there was some kind of privately owned, locally owned situation. There was no commercial there or anything.
Just pour into the economy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. And it's so strange to me how so many places that are tourist locations are so poor. I don't quite understand that. I need to do some more research to fully understand why it's like that. You'd think that all of our dollars, especially these cruise ports.
Sure.
Like, why do those islands seem so poor?
Well, because a lot of them have just gotten on the cruise route, and trust when you go there, those people don't know that they're poor. They don't know that. They don't,
Wow.
The
Are we blessed or what?
The people that live on VACAYs, I mean, I'm sure that's not what they think at all. I mean, they have a very simple life.
Yeah.
They don't have all of the nonsense that we deal with.
Yeah.
If something breaks,
Living in paradise.
Something breaks, they fix it. If they need food, they grow it or butcher it, or they're not reliant on people.
Yeah.
But I said all that to say this: we walked back to that black sand beach, and about halfway out, we saw a spider web that was as big as a Yugo.
Out.
And
No, sir. No, ma'am.
I'm a fan of orb weavers. I think orb weavers are really cool. Garden spiders. That's what Charlotte's Web was. She was zipper spider. She was an orb weaver.
She was
the
pretend.
spider. No, she was
And the
not.
real things
no,
are
it was based
horrific.
off an absolutely true thing. The spider that was in this web was as big as this table. And Aubrey took a picture of it. I'm not kidding you.
I
This
would have
spider
had
was-
a heart attack and died on the spot.
So keep on hiking and seeing God's country, because that's what you're going to run into.
Well, I'm not trying to hike in it. Well, maybe
Yes,
I
you
would.
are.
Maybe I would hike in the jungle,
There you would.
but I'd have to know everything ahead of time.
You're not going to know any of it.
Well, a guide would take us, and I'd be asking all the questions. Are there man-sized spiders? Are there
Rickshaws to take me back to town.
school bus length snakes? If there's a yes to any of that, nope. I'll look at pictures on the internet.
Well, when we go to St. Thomas,
I'm so looking forward. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the things that we haven't seen. You know, both of my cruises went to St. Thomas. So, and because, again, we took our sons the second time, we did the same kind of thing that we did the first time we went. So now I'm so excited to see the rest of the island. And I'm especially stoked about all the local fresh food. Like, give me all the seafood.
right?
Can't get enough of it.
Right. So,
How about lightning round? We ready to wrap it up?
Okay,
I don't know
okay.
how long we've been on here. You guys sick of this yet?
Okay.
Hope not.
Window or aisle?
Me, window. My husband, aisle, so that he can stretch his legs. How about you? I want to look.
I don't care, just as long as I'm not sitting next to some breathy
Close talk.
garlic eater. Carry on or check in? Check it.
Check it.
Carry on. All day carry on. Resort or explore?
Both.
No.
I
Well,
can choose
okay.
both.
All right, you can. Cruise or absolutely not?
Well, I mean,
We're going on a cruise.
yeah.
Matching shirts? Only for Rick and Abra. We're doing it. We'll take pictures.
Mutt and Jeff, we will. We'll post them. They'll be fantastic.
Yeah. Souvenirs or memories? Both. Why
Both.
can't you have both?
Both,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, yeah, no, we wrote down some stuff. You know, we used to chase adventures. Now we chase shade. That's the truth, too. I mean, we
It
gotta-
sure is. Listen,
gotta-
I don't want to. I want to get some sun, but I need to be cool if that's possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I agree. You know, we call these vacations, but a lot of times it's just our time away to
I'm a firm believer it makes you a better person. If you've spent time away from your significant other, like I've gone on girls' trips, and there's been a time that I've taken more than just ours. You know, we'll go for a few days, but
Sure.
there's been a time where I've taken, several days, and I miss my husband. So I come home and I'm a better wife.
She can't miss him. They never stop talking. I've told you that. They never.
Well, I still miss him.
You got to recharge. You got to go on vacation to recharge. And I think that's definitely.
Please, I appreciate the fact that everybody has their own financial situation. But I just can't express to you all enough. Do what you can to get away. Do what you can to break your everyday, day in, day out cycle. It will bless your life.
And we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about in our next podcast, I think, Carla and I are both budgeters. We've mentioned that before, and there's a very easy way to make this super attainable. I mean, it looks out of reach when you talk about, you go on a cruise and it's $3,000, or you go to a resort and it's $3,000, and that seems so far away. Well, we're gonna show you. This kind of leads into, we're gonna show you a little bit how we make that super attainable, and it's way easier than you think. And it might take you a little bit to save up, but it'll be definitely worth it. And get a map out and throw a dart and find some place.
Do that.
We've been to some places. One of my favorite places to go to is Curacao. Curacao is absolutely phenomenal. We've been to islands that we never even know existed. We've been to there's an island called Samana. It has the most beautiful beaches. It's not a commercialized area.
Port.
At all. There's a island called Dominica. It's not the Dominican. It's Dominica. Same. So that's the best thing about being on a cruise ship is that you can go to some of these islands you don't even know exist, and if you've never heard of it, get on that cruise and go see the world. It's the easiest way to visit. So
For sure.
all right, I think we're gonna wrap it up, and I hope you guys book a trip, get your friends, book a trip, divide it up, and if you can't go to a Caribbean island, go to Gulf Shores. Find a house that's got a pool right on the beach, and do that. Look at the restaurants, and you'll be hooked down there too. So
Absolutely. Lovely. All right. Cheers.
cheers.
Catch you next time.